Hello, my name is Monica Rivera and welcome to my acting series. In today's video, we're going to be talking about voice acting. You want to be a voice actor, you've been told maybe you have a really nice voice and you want to get into it, and essentially what you would need in order to get into voice acting the right way. First things first is you want to have some type of training as an actor. I remember back in the day, no one would want to watch certain animes when they were dubbed because the voice actors sounded so flat, so horrible, and just lacked emotion. So I would definitely recommend, aside from just having a really nice voice, you want to take on some type of formal training, whether that's a voice acting lesson, a voice acting class. Acting classes in general will help kind of avoid sounding so monotone, sounding so flat, and give you some of the tools you may need in order to emote properly. Because one thing is with voice acting, you're taking out a complete big portion of acting, which is your facial expressions. It's essentially like playing an instrument. You have to know how to play the instrument in order for it to sound good. So take improv classes, look into different voice acting specific classes versus as an actor overall. Next, you're going to want to learn just the basics as far as the different type of voice acting styles. There's not just one type of style out there. Just to name a few, and I'm going to read off of my list here, you have commercials. That's that preppy, I don't know if you've seen that sound on TikTok where it's like, bye da da, something something holiday, along the lines of that, where it's just like, bye now type of voice, you know? Then you have animation, and that's where it can be super heroic, super quirky. I initially think of the voice actor for, I think her name is Louise from Bob's Burgers. It's just like very interesting character voices. Next, of course, you're gonna have video games, some of which can be really gritty, intense, and emotional as well. And then, of course, you have audiobooks. I think if you have the type of voice for audiobooks, you just have a beautiful voice overall. But really having a knack for narration and understanding the tempo of which you're reading the material. And then, of course, you have the corporate and e-learning voice. That's kind of what I've been told I have. Unfortunately, but having a more calmer voice and a clear, that's what I've gotten for a lot of commercial work that I've done. And of course you have very specific voices like for promo, trailers, GPS. Figure out what works best for you, but don't be afraid to explore. I know a big thing for me, I absolutely love anime, so I've been training myself for all the different dialects and voices and the tones that I can use as an actor, especially getting more into animation because it's just a cool world to be a part of. Step 3, you're gonna wanna start looking into getting gear. Now, you do not have to have the most expensive professional studio in order to get into this stuff at all. That does not make any sense. Most actors actually do not have the most professional setups when they're doing stuff at home. They have kind of like their own little home office. You're gonna want to look up a couple of good USB or plug-in mics that would work for your overall. You're gonna wanna have some type of audio interface. I believe, what do I use? I'm just gonna have to look it up because I forgot the name of it. And then you need a very, very quiet recording space. Not quiet-ish, quiet recording space. I mean, there can't be, I know I screwed up one thing because my AC ventilation can be heard through the mic. So if you can, or one way to kind of finagle it is you can buy like the soundproofing material. Some people go as far as to just dedicate a random closet or space and have that kind of padded everywhere. But you can kind of, and you look crazy, but it'll work. You can make yourself like a little soundproof box and kind of put that over your head when you're in front of the mic and you're recording. It sounds crazy, but hey, if you're starting out, everyone starts out from somewhere. Make do with what you got. One rule of thumb, make do with what you got. Then you're gonna wanna have some type of recording software. I love Audacity. I think it's pretty straightforward, easy, and simple to learn. Doesn't take much, and I want to say it's free. Don't quote me on it. Yeah, no, it's free because I downloaded it for free. There's no subscription on it, which is why I hate how every software now has some type of subscription. And then of course headphones, so you can truly hear everything as crispy and nice as possible. And lastly, you're just gonna have to start recording and practicing. I know for me, especially even when it came to YouTube, I was like gagging over hearing myself in recordings, but there comes a point where you just get over it. Practice makes perfection. And you can ask yourself a couple of questions like, do I sound real? Do I sound like I would actually buy this? Do I sound convincing? Do I sound like I even give a crap? And then you're just gonna wanna start trying to build up some materials. Maybe you can look, what I always do, I love doing kind of mock demo reels. You can create a fake commercial of what it would sound like if someone were to, like Publix or whatever big grocery chain. Just start making little reels for each category I had mentioned before. What my sister did when she first started out, and she ended up getting paid quite nicely, is you can start going to places like Fiverr. I think Upwork is another one. You can start going on places on Fiverr, Upwork, and find yourself some paid gigs. And then of course you can also sign up for different platforms online to find other voice acting roles. You can find some on social media as well. You can maybe even make some projects with your friends. But once you have a pretty solid demo reel and maybe you've done some other work for, like paid work for people, you can really start getting into auditions. I'm gonna look off to the side to read my screen to kind of give you some websites to start off with. But you have voices.com, Voices123, Backstage, Casting Call Club. Or maybe you can create your own type of platform or your own story where you get a fan base, and you can do things like, oh my gosh, what is it called? Patreon. You could create your own stories, create your own characters, maybe have your own little podcast, whatever helps to put your voice out there. And you can also have a Patreon as well to kind of, you know, generate some type of monetary compensation. But of course, above all, you want to make sure that you remain professional whenever you have these auditions. You want to make sure you meet deadlines, meet requests, and just overall hold yourself like a decent human being. Do things like labeling your files properly, not ghosting clients, because believe it or not, reputations, word of mouth, that all travels. You also want to work towards building some relationships instead of just making reels. Sometimes those personal relationships will help get you your next big gig and help get you some information on maybe some upcoming projects that you may like to be a part of. You just have to be willing to put in the hard work, to take the time, be patient, and keep practicing and stay consistent. No matter what, if it's something you really want to do, voice acting is an extremely fun process. I've done it with some student films and things like that, but you would be able to have maybe a nice little living doing it as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any characters you would absolutely love to voice act for, please feel free to drop it down in my comments, but be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for supporting me. Have a good one, guys, and let me know if you get into any cool voice acting auditions. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.